Well, it's been a year since a massive life change. What has changed? What has stayed the same? What has God taught us? We'll talk about that next.
Welcome to the Dawn and Steve Plus podcast, fueled by Raphael's Roastery and supported by you. Connect to us on socials or dawnandsteveplus.com.
It's been a year. I cannot believe it's been a year.
A year since, I think I know what you're talking about.
A year. And the days have been long, but the time has been really short. It was a year ago, August 30th, National Beach Day, by the way, which is why that day we celebrated in Radio World.
We did.
Which is what we used to do. We would celebrate those national days when we could. Beach Day. Near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
Oh, my. So I thought, okay, I'm going to wear, my beach cover up. It'll be fun. It was a Friday.
Yep.
Come on, Friday. It was all the right things until 9:05 Central Time.
We got off the air at 8:55 a.m. Central Time.
Yes.
By 9 o'clock, we were sitting in just kind of the green room lobby area.
Mm-hmm.
And by 9:05, we didn't have jobs.
Oh, like the sucker punch in my gut even now, Steve.
Can you still kind of feel it?
I feel, don't you?
At times, yeah. I just like, yeah, that like, is this real? It almost shifts to this out-of-body experience.
It was.
When you're going through something like that. And then when you remember, sometimes you can even go back, oh, man, I remember how that felt.
Biggest surprise of my life, and not in a good way. I haven't sat in that moment for a while now because, And I'm thankful for that because of the journey of this past year that the Lord's had me on. But as I think about it right now, you said it's out of body and the reaction. I can now remember like my face, I don't know I guess adrenaline, but the trauma of that moment, my face was twitching. I was in such a state of disbelief.
Yeah. You were, I was, I think.
Briggs was.
Basically all of us were. It was that moment of, is this for real? Like, I hear the words, but this doesn't compute. Like, this is for real, right?
I laugh because I for real, because I was sitting there going, what is happening right now? This has to be an alternate universe. This is not happening.
Yeah. But it did.
It sure did.
Yeah. And a lot has changed since then. Some things have stayed the same.
Mm-hmm.
But as you look back a year ago, what would you say has been maybe the biggest change for you?
Oh, my goodness. The Lord and I were just talking about this recently, like last night. I was coming home from Bible study. I'm part of a really small little Bible study with about 6 or 7 gals. That in itself tells you how much things have changed.
Yeah.
I know this sounds terrible, but I would not have done that a year ago. For one reason, I couldn't, because I had to be in bed asleep by 8:30 or 8 o'clock. And the second thing is I didn't realize how uptight I was. I think that's the best way to put it.
You have no idea what that does to my soul right now to hear you say that.
Why, Steve?
Oh, that's funny.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do you find that so humorous?
Because I think anyone who knew you well would have said that is true. And you would have said, no, it's not.
Nope. I did not, could not.
Could not see it.
Could not see it.
But is it one of those things where you can't see it yourself?
Correct.
When it's you, but when everybody around you can see it, and you're like, no, that can't be true. That's not true.
I would have said I knew I was, I don't think I would have called it uptight, but I was militant about several things because I had to be to keep my sanity and to take care of my family on the schedule I had. I could not do all the mom things, all the wife things, and all the friend things. So Bible study at night or anything, no matter how good it was at night, couldn't do it.
Yeah. You had this iron curtain that came down at a certain time of day. It's like, boom. I remember like being at your house for the Super Bowl party, house full of people. Whatever time that is rolls around, game's on, people are eating, doing their thing. You're like, y'all stay here as late as you want. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, you worked with me when I didn't get enough sleep.
Yeah. And so at a certain point, I did kind of say, if that's what you got to do, you do it, because I will take the well-rested you over the other one.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It was for my protection as well as Ben's and everyone else's.
I was going to say,
Yep.
I did it on behalf. It's not that you love that, right? Because you had to just shut life off. Sorry.
And the longer I did that job, the more I understood that mindset.
And the older you get,
Oh, yeah.
the more challenging.
You don't
to
have
the
the
body
energy
and
that
the
you
mind.
did 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing that's changed is the Lord, because I had asked, Lord, when did I stop loving people? When did I? Because that's always been something He had in my DNA, my spiritual DNA, my personality. When I would MC things, I would look out in that crowd and I would just be so thankful to see people there, because I knew, like, no matter what it was, maybe a fundraiser for an organization, they had laid aside their schedules to come and be part of what that group was doing that night. And I used to just have such great compassion and empathy. And toward the end of the time that we did morning radio, I would just go, okay. Now, I still enjoyed emceeing, but it was like I didn't have that same connection. And I wondered where it went. And I was just tired.
You're tired.
I was so tired.
Well, you did that schedule for a long time.
Just 17 years.
Many, many, many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even the 2 years that I would just do fill-in work for the state, I still got up early because I worked at a school.
Yeah.
And I had to be at my desk by 7:10. So in order to get kids ready and everything, you were still up at super
Sure.
early. Yeah. So I was very uptight. And I think that is the thing that the Lord has been unknotting over this past year. And I realized last night that He has given me a love for people again, and that I have been able to see the value of different life experiences and not just like, you're fine. Like, suck it up. Of course, I'm a nurse's kid, so there's that too.
Yeah. Okay.
How about you?
Yeah, I think probably for me, the biggest change has been I get more time with my family.
I love that.
Now, when our old life, I would go into the studio early in the morning. About halfway through the day, I'd kind of shift hats, and I would put on my freelance hat, and I would work for other ministries and do other projects, and I would be out of the house usually anywhere from 12 to 14 hours a day.
So long.
Now I have a home office and studio, and I go up there, do my thing, come down, have lunch. If the kids need to run somewhere and Susie's got a commitment, I can do that. I can often make work fit around life instead of having life try to fit around work.
That's huge.
It is really big for us.
I am sure that everybody loves it. Like, not just you.
I
Like,
think so.
Everybody does.
Most of the time, every once in a while, I'll come down when we homeschool. And so every once in a while, Susie will be teaching, and I come downstairs to get something off the printer or some reason I've come downstairs and I become the disruption.
Yes.
I'm not sure she loves that. But other than that,
yes.
other than that.
Yeah, well, the coffee pot's still downstairs, isn't it?
Oh, there's one upstairs too.
Oh, there is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So at least, because that would be a huge disruption as often as you probably get coffee still.
I learned that many years ago that if I had to have a coffee pot relatively near me in the same room, because if I opened the door to the room in which I was working, the kids would hear the door open, Dad! And what I intended to be a 60-second trip to the coffee pot and back and whatever, and get right back into it becomes 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, okay, I can't keep doing this.
And
get
you
stuff
lose
done.
traction,
Right.
right?
Totally.
At least my mind,
Totally. Yeah, you got to get kind of back into the zone again. And so then you're like, okay, I guess I will pace, like not get coffee as frequently, but then I like coffee. I need coffee.
Coffee is your water.
I mean, exactly. And so I'm grateful for Raphael's Roastery.
Oh.
They keep us running around here. So thank you for their support. But yeah, I have found the biggest change, I think, has just been the fact that I feel so much more connected to the family.
That is such a gift.
Yeah.
Such a gift. And as you look back over these last 365 days, anything same?
Um, in some ways, yes. Still, generally speaking, working in the same industry.
Mm-hmm.
Radio, still doing a radio show. Still working on pre-produced radio shows, which I was doing before, working with Open the Bible and Encounter the Truth and other radio programs. Working for a radio network. We worked for one before.
Yes.
Working for a different one now. So that is similar, not exactly the same. But in terms of some of the other extracurricular kind of stuff, a lot of that has stayed the same in terms of life group, small group. Shortly before we were let go, started working with a homeless ministry.
Right.
Volunteering regularly. And in fact, I probably will never forget this. I was supposed to speak that Friday night.
That's right. That same day that we got let go.
Right. And I thought, all right, so we're going to get off the air, do the thing, whatever. And then before I dive into the freelance stuff, I'm going to prep my talk, figure out what I'm going to speak on that night. And then when you're let go, it's like, okay, I can think of nothing else other than this right now, and especially until I tell my wife.
Well,
and
exactly.
tell the family. And went home, did that, told her, told the kids, whatever. I'm like, okay, now I can think about what I'm going to speak on tonight.
As you said that, I had another flashback to the three of us, you, me, and Briggs. And Briggs is still our producer. He was our producer then. He's still our producer now. And how we left that green room you described. We walked back into the studio, and we're just standing there looking at one another. And, of course, I'm looking up because you two are like 6'4", and y'all are looking down. And we're just that surreal. Are we still, is this happening right now? But since all three of us were experiencing it, then we had to look at the reality. This is really happening. And just kind of standing there together and wondering what the Lord has for us next, grieving, bewildered, and yet knowing that the Lord, he made us siblings. And you felt that in that moment. You felt that you were standing in solidarity of pain together and just praying and knowing God has purpose. And he would show us purpose in that, about a week later?
Yeah. I think for me, one of the things that, I was scheduled to go on vacation the next week.
Yes.
And so I'm like, okay, I was scheduled to be off. I'm off anyway. So I'm going to, as best as I can, still trying to enjoy that time of vacation. The following week, I was scheduled to be out of town a good portion of that week, helping a different radio network do a fundraiser. And so I went up to that radio network, and it was a 3-day event. Day 2, often a slow kind of day in a fundraiser. And so we took a good portion of that day, and we just talked about the gospel. We talked about the power of God's word. We talked about how the proclamation of truth through radio changes lives, shared some of the stories. Listeners shared some stories with us. And I was just reminded again of what a privilege it is to be able to do that, how much fun it is to be able to do that, how, I get so engaged in that topic. And I remember thinking, man, I can't be done with this.
Yeah.
And we had been talking about, do we do a podcast? Do we not?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, number one, I want to continue to work with you and Briggs. Number two, there's something in me that still wants to continue to talk about the gospel.
Yes.
Given the opportunity and the platform to do that, let's go. And so I remember calling you from this radio network, my hotel room that night, giving you a call and saying, I don't think we're done.
That was a good moment. That brings tears to my eyes because I looked at Ben and I went, it's Steve. He doesn't think we're done either, because Ben and I had been praying about it. And he just said, there's got to be a way that you guys can continue to work together. There's got to be a way. And I'm like, I know, but podcast is what, and I don't know we're supposed to do a podcast, and I don't want to do another one just because that just seems to be the thing to do, unless the Lord says step into it. And then I'm all about it. So when you called that night, and then we followed up with Briggs, and all three families were on the same page, I just thank the Lord because you knew he had orchestrated that.
Yeah. And that was another one of those things that was just a massive confirmation for me was all three of our spouses seemed to be on the same page.
That is correct.
Melissa Briggs saying, it seems like God has put you guys together for this. Susie, Ben, all affirming that. I'm like, okay, if all three of our spouses see that and God has stirred in our hearts to continue to do this, let's go.
I think I've joked on other podcasts, like I have great compassion, empathy for people, but I just don't cry because it's a whole different story for another podcast. All of that, because that's the Lord's hand, just makes me teary-eyed in a really good way, thankful. It's just
you have changed over a year, man. Emotions?
Hey, my family's still waiting for the floodgates.
Okay.
They know I had emotions. They were
besides
just
anger,
fairly firm. Would you say I was angry?
Not demonstrated.
Okay, for sure that was there, but okay, that's another podcast.
Yeah,
we won't go down that rabbit trail. But yeah, I just was so grateful, and to see like we're not even quite a year into the podcast. October will be that anniversary,
right?
And how the Lord is continuing to work, and yeah.
So, if there's one thing that you feel like God has shown you, reminded you of, something that He has impressed upon you over this past year, what do you think that would be?
Oh my word! His character, His plan, His ways, and how they're not mine.
Yeah.
So many things when the Lord brought this podcast together that I could sense His leading, as we're just discussed, and thought He might do something different than has happened yet. Now, this podcast is not set up for Don and Stephen Briggs to be superstars or anything like that. You've already said the reason for this is the gospel. This is the Lord's podcast, and that's what we always want. With that, Paul was a tent maker, and he would do various work, right, to be able to continue to go around, and he trusted the churches to support him as well. So I did wonder if the Lord would support the podcast in a way that would be helpful to our families and kind of, the tent making thing. He is continuing to say, yes, you're a nonprofit. Yes, you're listener supported. And yes, you're going to continue to trust me, because that has not yet happened. So his direction for me still is serve me today. And of late, it's been persevere. He keeps taking me to passages that talk about perseverance. James chapter 1, 2 Peter 1, Corinthians, talking about what perseverance does, the work of the Spirit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, Lord, okay.
Yeah. And when He gives you a message like that, it's the opportunity to say, do I really believe this? Or are all those things that I've said for years just empty words?
So true.
And I remember that was one of the things that, was running through my mind a lot in those early days. Here's an opportunity to live out what you say you believe. Mm-hmm. Will you trust Him? Mm-hmm. God saying, I know this rocked your world, didn't rock mine.
Yep.
I've known it was coming.
Yep. From eternity past, even.
Exactly. And so, do you trust me with whatever is next?
Yeah.
And will you wait on me to take care of you in whatever that is going to look like? Mm-hmm. So it was that real, okay, rubber hits the road moment.
Yep.
Are we going to live out what we say we believe or not?
That's still for us. And I know it is for y'all too. Our family situations, all three of them, look differently when it comes to the Lord's provision. I still hear Him saying, you're just going to have to trust my character. You're going to have to trust my direction. Steve, I think the hardest thing right now in all of that is our humanness and our life experience says, yes, but you need to you need to work it this way, or, what about this? And I'm like, I agree. My human side agrees 1,000%. And my spirit side goes, Lord, what about this? What about this? And it's like, no. I'm asking you to look at me and trust me. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. One thing that comes to mind is when he does move in whatever way he's going to do that, it is going to be his glory. It is going to be his direction, and we can touch none of it. There will be no, when I did this, that's when everything changed. It will be all about the Lord and what he has done.
Yeah.
And what he is doing. I mean, he is.
Oh, he is. And as I look back over the past year, I see that.
Yes.
Because I see the way in which he has refashioned and formed my life, our family's life, all of those things. And it is him who has done it.
Yeah.
Because I could not have manufactured the life that we have today.
Right.
I had kind of tried to do things like that in the past, and it always failed. And when he said, now it's going to happen on my terms, on my timeline, and you're just going to sit back and watch, I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool what you've done, Lord.
Go God.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for the Dawn and Steve Plus podcast. We're a listener-supported, non-profit podcast, and we're grateful for your generous support. You can give at dawnandsteveplus.com. Our producer is yours truly, Stephen Briggs, with assistance from Chris Westmoreland. Please like and subscribe to Dawn and Steve Plus anywhere you get your podcasts and on all our socials. Links to what we talk about and to Raphael's Roastery are in the show notes below. Thanks for joining us and being our plus one.